Oh shit, yeah. Are we on, dude? That's right, we're on, dude. Straight fuck up. That's right. You know, let me something with it. Keep it on you. You know, sometimes things go down, dude. But like, listen, check this out. This is how things happen, dude. Like in the punk world, dude, let me tell you what's going on, brother. You know, a lot of times people will sit back and they'll tell you. They'll be like, look, dude, you're walking and stuff. You're like, what? You think he's got like a watch or something? You know what I'm saying? He's got like, just a person that ain't got no street punk credibility. He's trying to sway you, dude. So you're just like, well, listen, you go back to what you're chilling. Listen, you better than Ezra or something like that. Stuff. It's really nothing stuff, right? You sit there, so you're walking down the street, you're just chilling. Because right now, wait, hold on. You notice the pretty rad-ass fucking punk song I turned down, bro. That's right. Because, like right now, I'm kind of like incognito. And I full on red school mask and stuff right now. So I need to shave and all that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? I know you white, you just trill. So listen, that's my boy. Listen, he on his own fucking planet now. But the planet probably owns him. It don't matter. How you gonna go chase down a ghost, mister? Who lives on his own planet? Back the fuck up. Listen. So at the same time and stuff, right? People will sit back. And it's like a lot of times, what I noticed, dude, check it out, bro. Let's just say, you're starting to work on your street punk credibility. Your points are rising. If you keep a little journey or ledger, that's real, dude. Watch this, dude. I'll show you. See if I can hear, like, I got a little audio book, Matter of fact, let's see if we can hear some of this stuff right now. I'll be writing down and stuff. Sometimes this stuff, dude, you're sitting there. And you just like trying to get in and stuff, dude, like whatever and stuff, right? Well, the combination ain't coming up right. But I know there's some good stuff on there. If you guys want to check that out later and stuff, I know. So people will sit back and they have punk attitudes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But dude, don't trust them. They might just have a punk attitude and not be a punk, dude. Now, if you want to keep your street punk sensibility, dude, that shit is crazy. That's real, dude. Just imagine it. You think you've seen everything, dude, but what if you run into a French punk, dude? He's a punk, dude, but he's from France, dude. Just think about that shit, mister. Already he's got, well, listen, he's quite civilized, so, I know a lot of our punks, like the American punks, so you don't give a fuck. Yeah, literally straight ahead. Straight ahead, they're coming straight for you and stuff, right? So, our punks and stuff, we got a little stuff going on and stuff, but what if he's from France? He's going to be something civilized, and I'm going to let you know how to deal with him right now, dude, straight up. Listen, let's just suppose you step into, a Subway restaurant or whatever and stuff, right? You get yourself, hey, that's good, festivals are cool, dude, you want to be there, like when you get in that pit. Don't ever get it. Hey, man, the shark pit, those guys are looking straight ahead at you. That's right, it's a dangerous pit, my friend. It's dangerous. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's dangerous, brother. So you better know what you're doing as far as the pit. And some of those guys are straight ahead at you. Anyway, listen, let me check this out. So let's just suppose, dude, you're at what is it, Subway, you're getting yourself a cold cut trio or something. It really ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Unless they have like some banana peppers or something like that and stuff, that's cool. But even if you go with the baby spinach, it's still a deal, and you're keeping up the punk street cred. So you get that sandwich and stuff, right? But inside there, you're ordering your sandwich, dude, and here goes the French punk. You don't know the difference between a Franc or a Frank. He's coming up, dude, he's a punk, dude, straight up, dude. Goddamn well, he's punk straight up, dude. And y'all like, he's like, you're taking out his jacket and everything and stuff, right? But now he might pull this on you. You get into it and stuff, right? Everybody in the store is gonna stare. You're like, yeah, dude, I'm punk too. And he pulls out his gloves. I challenge you to a duel. What are you gonna do now, dude? That's real. Right now, right now, it's like, you know, because I'm in the back, I'm like, damn. You know, that's exactly how I'm going to be, dude. I'll be like, Jesus Christ. Right? So you're like sitting there. So, you know, to avoid that type of situation, dude, you know, at the moment that you see him putting out his gloves, dude, I'll just look back a little bit, make sure, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you got to watch these front sleeves. You know, that's real. That's real. I'm telling you, dude, you know, yeah. Why would I lie to you? You know, I'm considered OG in the field. That's right. You know, it's like punks were actually like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna brag, dude, and nothing like that, dude. You know, like whatever and stuff. I got my credit and stuff, dude. You know, it's cool and stuff. Yeah, that's right. I was just practicing Ramones, dude. You know, I know a lot of you guys out there like, yeah, but when's Kane AD coming, dude? You know, people are all hella like disappointed and stuff, dude. I know. You know, it's gonna break out like pretty soon, dude. And I know you guys are gonna have a lot of answers and a lot of questions and stuff, dude. Like on it and stuff, like, you know, what songs are gonna be on there, dude? And, you know, a bunch of other shit, dude. Like, whatever. Maybe your first reaction was the best reaction. Either way, you're not coming in my house, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. Now, if you're not a punk, dude, you know, it just makes me, it reminds me of a story, dude. It's like I'm sitting here, I'm chilling, I'm trying to think to myself, dude, like if I was a punk, dude, that, you know, that lived in like Russia or something, even though I would, like I said, I'll be closer to, you know, Mother Russia pretty soon, and that's nothing, dude, just think about it, it's an airplane flight. So anyway, so no, they're way past the days of Aeroflot, dude. These guys, right, they got several airlines here now, and now they're wondering, you know, when was somebody come along that's gonna shake us up and show us how to be like, you know, have like hardcore street punk credibility? And this is like what a lot of people around the world are hoping and wishing for, dude. I'm like one of the only ones that got a lot of it. It's just like that, dude. It's like that, dude. I mean, you know, I sit back and I'm like, well, God damn it. I can share it, dude. But why would I share my credibility with you? And you might just be like, I mean, you know, hey, you know, I mean, scared, you know, we're cool. I mean, we're like, whatever. There's really nothing. At the same time and stuff, right? People know that, you know, when you're good friends, dude, you know, you like to see them come and leave, or whatever and stuff. That's nothing, dude. You know, what's wrong with that, dude? You see a good friend, dude, you're like, hey, you know, and afterwards you're just like, all right, dude, I'll see you later. It's really nothing. But, you know, but I'm thinking of younger years again. But listen, at the same time and stuff, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. You know, I'm telling you, you got to watch, like, you know, okay. Well, I don't know, you know. There's a lot, you know, because, you know, just like with us, but there's people above us that are sharper than us. You know, we have questions when people say like they started hip hop, you know, and like, you know, and I know that, you know, there's some European dudes and most of them are cool, dude, but what if they're like, I'm a better punk than you? What are you gonna do then, dude? You know, I mean, you just be like, yeah, you know, like whatever, maybe you're right. Or you can just be like, fuck that, because if you chose that option, you know, your friends are gonna be up there watching like, oh, whoa, dude. You know, and then you're gonna come back and they're like, you didn't show any credibility at all, dude. Just get your little tray, dude, and get the fuck out of here. Now, dude, you're off on your own again, like Al B. Sure. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff, you walking away, dude, just because, dude, you didn't show no, you know, you gotta keep your street crumb. You gotta keep your street cred, you know, wide open and hoping for a future where you give somebody a motherfucking suture or something like that and stuff, because sometimes it's necessary. It's just like that, dude. I'm hardcore. That's how I roll, dog. So that was really basically all I had to say. Fuck you, Kane, bitch. You know, and it's just like that. The fuck you want to use it?